Breaking news! The atmosphere is heating up behind the scenes at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I have some crucial updates to break down with you today. We all know this offseason has already been packed with action, and trust me, more surprises are on the horizon as we barrel toward training camp. What I found out in the last few hours might just change everything for the Steelers this season. I'm about to spill all the details, but before we dive in, hit that like button if you've been a Steelers fan for over 17 years. I love seeing fans of all ages repping the black and gold. Drop a comment saying, "Go Steelers, meu coração sangue preto e dourado." Now let's get into it. There's a buzz growing louder in Pittsburgh, and it centers around General Manager Omar Khan, who's not even close to done building this roster. According to trusted insider Ricky, yes, the same Ricky who called the George Pickens trade before it went public and who hinted at the Aaron Rodgers deal just hours before the news broke, the Steelers are making aggressive moves behind the scenes. The latest scoop? Pittsburgh is reportedly in pursuit of not one, but potentially two elite-level cornerbacks, Jaire Alexander and Jaylen Ramsay. Ricky, now enjoying a bit of a redemption arc, claims the Steelers have made inquiries about both players. That's huge, and if Omar Khan lands even one of these Pro Bowl caliber corners, it could be a seismic shift for this defense. Let's talk about what that would mean. The Steelers already have Joey Porter Jr. and newly acquired veteran Darius Slay locking down the outside. Slot corner, though, that's where the intrigue begins. With Beanie Bishop Jr. currently penciled in at nickel, the Steelers might be looking for more size and physicality at that position, and both Alexander and Ramsay could bring that. Now, there was skepticism early on about Alexander. He's primarily played outside in Green Bay, and fitting him into Pittsburgh's scheme would mean trying him in the slot, a role he's not known for. But when you look at his physical style, his top-tier PFF grades when healthy, and his potential to make an impact if the price is right, the idea becomes more compelling. The caveat? His health. He hasn't played more than 7 games in recent seasons, and that's a real concern. On the flip side, Jaylen Ramsay is battle-tested in the slot, with years of elite production in that role from his time with the Rams and Dolphins. Yes, his contract carries a $21 million price tag for 2025, but it's not guaranteed beyond this season. That means Pittsburgh could restructure or part ways next year if needed. And when you imagine a secondary featuring Ramsay, Slay, Porter Jr., Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Deshaun Elliott, it's terrifying. Add in linebackers like Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson, and suddenly you're staring at a no-weak spot defense that could carry this team deep into January. But there's a twist. While the defense might become an elite unit, there's concern that acquiring Ramsay could come at the expense of landing another wide receiver, which this offense desperately needs. Keenan Allen, once considered a top target, has essentially ruled out Pittsburgh. On a podcast, he admitted that while Rodgers intrigued him, the city of Pittsburgh didn't. After spending his career in glamorous markets like LA and Chicago, Allen's not exactly eager to embrace Pittsburgh's blue-collar vibe. That's not a knock on the team, just a personal preference. Still, it eliminates a prime free agent option. That leaves Amari Cooper as the more viable target, someone who fits Aaron Rodgers' preferences and brings more versatility to the outside. And if push comes to shove between adding Ramsay or Cooper, Steelers insiders are leaning toward the receiver. Rodgers needs another weapon, especially after recent updates suggest Calvin Austin III is the current WR2. While Austin is fast and a strong route runner, he lacks the size and blocking ability to be a reliable second option on early downs. He's more of a slot specialist or a situational deep threat, not a true WR2. Zach Azzanni, the wide receivers coach, said publicly that WR2 is all Calvin's right now, but that could just be a placeholder until the Steelers finalize a move for a bigger-bodied pass catcher. That's where Cooper could step in and change the dynamic. As for the man of the hour, Aaron Rodgers, he's turning heads at minicamp. Quarterbacks coach Tom Arth compared him to Tom Brady, pointing to the mental sharpness and preparation style both legends share. Rodgers may not be the mobile threat he once was, but in terms of pocket passing, processing speed, and sheer arm talent, he's still elite. According to team reports, his throws have more zip and precision than anyone else in camp, including Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Skylar Thompson. Even at 41, Rodgers' release remains lightning fast, and his decision-making is as sharp as ever. The coaching staff is betting big that Rodgers can replicate Brady's late career success, provided the protection holds up and he's surrounded with enough playmakers. There's confidence in Calvin Austin III, Roman Wilson, and maybe even DK Metcalf if they pull off a shocker, but the missing piece is still that second true WR threat. Meanwhile, Joey Porter Jr.'s growth continues to be a hot topic. DB coach Gerald Alexander emphasized that JPJ needs to refine his technique beyond the 5-yard zone, cutting down on penalties while maintaining that elite press coverage ability. The staff still believes he can become a lockdown corner, and adding someone like Ramsay could give him the perfect mentor to study and sharpen his craft under. So now I turn it over to you, Steelers Nation. What do you think? Should the Steelers go all in on Jaylen Ramsay and field one of the best defenses in the league, even if it costs them a shot at a top-tier receiver? Or should they prioritize arming Aaron Rodgers with more firepower and settle for a more modest upgrade at corner? Let me know in the comments. And speaking of Aaron Rodgers, let's get into something that's sparking real conversation inside the Steelers facility, and that's whether this version of Rodgers, at age 41, can actually replicate the late career success we saw from Tom Brady. Steelers quarterbacks coach Tom Arth sees it, and he's not alone. When you listen to how Arth breaks it down, it's not about comparing athleticism. It's about the way both Brady and Rodgers process the game, how they prepare, and how they mentally dominate defenses. Rodgers might not scramble like he used to, but this man's football IQ is still on another level. And let's not overlook one key stat. Rodgers still has one of the best touchdown-to-interception ratios in NFL history. He also leads the league in lowest interception percentage of all time. That's no fluke. You're looking at a cerebral assassin behind center who knows how to protect the football and manipulate defenses pre-snap like very few ever have. Last season, even with a lackluster supporting cast in New York and a chaotic offensive structure, his efficiency metrics held up. He was top 5 in turnover-worthy plays and still fired off throws with elite velocity. The early word from minicamp is that his throws look different, sharper, cleaner, more decisive. Multiple reports are highlighting how the ball just jumps out of his hand in a way that stands out from the rest of the quarterbacks on the field. And if this offensive line holds up, if the ground game delivers with Jaylen Warren and Caleb Johnson, Rodgers will have what Brady had in Tampa, a clean pocket and control at the line of scrimmage. Now this is where it gets tricky. The team has high hopes for Calvin Austin III, but there's a limit to how much he can do, especially given his size and blocking ability. Coach Zach Azzanni admitted the WR2 role belongs to Austin for now, but let's be honest, he's best used as a gadget weapon or a slot mismatch. He can't consistently win on early downs or take on top corners. That's why the front office is still hunting for a true WR2. And if you ask me, the big move hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. Names like Amari Cooper and Romeo Doubs are still floating in the rumor mill. Cooper, in particular, is drawing strong interest because of his chemistry potential with Rodgers. The route running, the reliability, the composure, he checks all the boxes. It's no surprise Rodgers himself has spoken highly of Cooper's game in the past. And while Keenan Allen may have snubbed the city of Pittsburgh, Cooper hasn't closed any doors. If Omar Khan can pull this off without losing cap flexibility, it could be the perfect puzzle piece. But again, back to the defense, because this team might not even need to rely on offensive fireworks if they land one more corner. Let's say Ramsay walks through those doors. You're instantly looking at a top 5 defensive unit across the board. Now it's your turn, Steelers Nation. Should Omar go defense first and complete this monster secondary? Or do you want to see him go all in on giving Rodgers another WR1 level target? Comment down below. Tell me what you would do if you were calling the shots in Pittsburgh. If you're still watching, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned, because there are more breaking updates coming. You're not going to want to miss what we've got lined up next. Go Steelers!